In this discussion, we will look at how we can publish scientific research papers quickly and even massively. Warning: any discussion on such topic has limitations because the discussant is always constrained by his scope of knowledge and experience. What is presented here is based on my 30-plus years of research and supervising postdoctoral students from different countries on various disciplines. One does not have to go through this stage of learning to become very good at writing publishable papers. However, to me, this stage of learning has been indeed an eye-opening experience. Now let's look at the key of success. After having published a few research papers, one might want to publish more papers quickly and or massively. The key for success at this stage is the following. We need to write in an area that has a well-defined pool of reviewers, because without such a pool, our papers will have trouble to locate potential and willing reviewers, and consequently, we will have trouble getting our paper published easily and quickly. What to do? We need to find what research topics are currently hot and choose a hot topic, that falls within our knowledge structure, and determine how we could produce conclusions that are parallel to what has been established. And then we write up our papers. Last step, we submit our papers to journals that are willing to publish our works. Now first, let's see how we can find hot topics. For instance, Science magazine, published by American Society for the Advancement of Science, and Nature Journal, published by the British Nature Publishing Group, or ScienceWatch.com, published by Thomson Reuters. These are all examples where we can get feelings about what is currently hot. Now, other than finding what research topics are hot, we need to realize that each person generally has a set of preferred tools to use, such as statistics. Even within statistics, we have several particular tools we use most comfortably, or game theory, or calculus-based theory. So that said, personal preferences here basically means we are limited by the tools we feel most comfortable with in our research. And when we look through hotter topics we identified, we try to find one such a topic that falls within the comfort zone of our preferred tools of research. And here, what's very important is we should keep an open mind for the potential of picking up new tools in order to capitalize on the newly emerging opportunities. And what's discovered is this: as we grow as a professional, if we continue to conduct research, then our bag of tools generally is getting bigger, and we will have newer tools and better polished tools available to us. Now, second stage is we need to imagine parallelism. And there are different ways we can imagine parallelism. between two or more totally different theories. We need to see their connections, how they are similar, how they are the same. Okay. And when one parallelism is seen, even though only remotely, then we are in the position to establish results in a new setting by using the perceived similarities and parallelism. Now, creativity here in our work is really shown at how we see the parallelism and how new results are developed within the new set of conditions and constraints. And this how to develop new results here, even though we have a parallelism to reference to, this end establishing new results in a new setting can still be technically very challenging and very difficult. After we have our results, we can write papers. Okay, so the papers are simply the consequences of the perceived parallelism. Okay, and each paper here we compose generally highlights one or two newly established results. The importance of the problem addressed in each paper can be readily established in our case here by using the imagined parallelism, and the case studies, practical applications, and others can also be similarly developed. Now, for example, let's look at this example on complex networks. Initially, scholars established a few very intriguing results from analyzing some real-world networks, such as telephone networks, acquaintances, and scientific citations, etc. Okay, and when people studied these particular networks, they discovered some very interesting results. And then the general study of complex networks was initiated since around 2000. That is really not that long ago. Now, in this young and active research area, scholars from all walks of learning re-establish well-known results of their background disciplines in a new setting of complex networks. Okay, and so because of all those efforts, we get a feeling that complex networks can be the next revolution in science and in technology. Another example, let's look at how finding parallelism is important. Now, Adolf Quetelet, I don't know exactly how to sound his name. He was a Belgian astronomer, mathematician, statistician, and a sociologist. Although he was a mathematician by training, since he dreamed of becoming someone like Newton, so instead of mathematics, he chose astronomy as his career direction. And because of this choice, he realized that it is very important for him to establish an observatory. With a great effort, in 1823, he was successful to find the support to construct the Brussels Observatory, with himself being the director. And since this was a new field to him, he paid his dues by visiting other European observatories and learned the relevant background knowledge. When he was finally ready to take on his new journey in 1830, he received a piece of bad news. A revolution broke out in Belgium, and the Brussels Observatory was taken by the revolutionary forces. Now, I'm sure in such a situation, many people will be very, very much distracted by what's going on. However, for Adolf, the social unrest actually challenged him instead of distracting him. He's asking, is it possible to develop a science that can help to manage the society by using the similar principles that are used to investigate the hidden patterns of the heaven? By using the knowledge of astronomy, he established his theory of social physics for studying human behaviors and other theories. Next example. In this example, let's look at the hybrid between economics and physics. Okay, let's think in this way. Economics more or less reflect the nature of man, and man is part of the nature. On the other hand, physics studies the laws which governing the operation of nature. So a natural connection here will be, can and should principles of physics be applicable to the study of economics and economic behaviors? And by thinking this way, a large amount of research known as econophysics has been currently produced, leading to some very important results. Here, principles of physics are giving meanings of economics, and then these principles are employed to investigate economic behaviors and phenomena. And some of the scholars have used their newly established theories and methods to study stock market and so on. To summarize what we discussed today, we see that these examples show the facts that finding parallelisms can lead to massive production of new and important results. And it can also lead to original works of magnificent values. And in all these cases listed in the previous examples, the new studies launch also their own journals, partially due to the fact that there are such market needs where the existing journals cannot satisfy the needs. In other words, it takes time and is difficult or almost impossible for the established journals or the established editorial boards of the journals to accept the new kids on the block. So from this discussion, you can tell by finding parallelisms, we can easily or more readily find fertile new territories of scientific thinking and research. Okay, this wraps up our discussion today. Please direct your comments, questions to my email. I love to hear from you. And I will discuss your comments and answer your questions in the following videos. Thank you very much.